Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and today we are going to look at a beautiful artsy micro apartment in the center of Hamburg's coolest district, the Sternschanze. Roughly 25 square meters have been transformed into an incredibly authentic and unique place. As we come in, this is the hallway and this is already the main room. As we enter, we come right inside both the living room, the bedroom, and the dining room. This is just one space that encompasses a lot of different functions throughout the day. And because this apartment only has 25 square meters, you had to fit a lot of functions inside a space. If you like the video, as always, make sure to subscribe. As we come into the place, we are immediately greeted by a great abundance of light, and we have these just gigantic, beautiful windows that really frame the room and the apartment. And what makes these windows so special is that they go all the way from the bottom to all the way to the top. And because of this, we just have this almost glass front. I believe that just this incredible amount of light is what makes this place feel so much bigger than it actually is. And right now we can see that the trees on the outside actually have the same color of yellow as the curtains and a lot of accents in the room have. And I think that that is just so cool, even though we obviously don't have this the whole entire year. But this just creates a great dialogue between the inside and the outside. One of the reasons why this room feels so much bigger than it actually is because the color palette consists mostly of these earthy browns and yellows paired with this crisp white. And I believe that it's just this perfect combination of white and yellow that creates this crisp and bright and really lively design. To break up this bright and crisp color palette and to take away from its monochromaticity, we have a lot of colorful, small, bold accents added. For example, here we have the Arne Jacobsen chairs. They're very classic, if you have a look at them. And they just have this dark, moody, indigo blue color. Or behind me, the bed throw also again has this blue color, and this just adds a lot of moody tones. And these colorful accents just give the color palette much more texture and depth. Over here we have the dining area, and you can see that we have a very sleek, not too big, but appropriate to this apartment table. I like that we have two chairs that are completely different from each other standing on each side. So I told you here we have the Arne Jacobsen chairs, and here we have chairs that have been thrifted and found on some flea market, and you can see that they just have this old wood patina. The fabric was completely broken and it had to be redone, and you have this pink and white striped new fabric placed on top of it. And we can see that if we look at these chairs versus the Arne Jacobsen chairs, we can see that they come from completely different times. They have absolutely nothing in common. But I feel like that's what really unites it, and that's what makes this design so stand out so much. It's just supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be bold, and it's supposed to make you think, huh, I didn't think about that. On top of the table, we have a white tablecloth that was put, and it just elevates the space and the design, and it gives you this almost formal aspect to it. And on top of the tablecloth, we have beautiful roses and just a very unique vase that has been put. I love vases. I'm completely addicted to vases. Over here we have a teapot where you can drink some tea, and you just have these nice accents that make the space feel very open and very heartwarming. We have a lot of really gold accents inside the space. Here we have the lamp that is standing, and you can see that the round shape again breaks up the squareness of the table and the overall square geometry of this place. And I always love if you have round shapes or bends or dents. Over here we have my favorite painting. It is a pug, and it is just very random and very playful. The owner said that they actually just found it standing on the road, so it was actually for free, and you always have somebody to eat dinner with you. So that is quite cool. Behind me we have a beautiful gigantic linen painting. It's a photograph in black and white that has been printed onto linen, and you just have this beautiful textured feeling to it, and we can see that it is absolutely oversized, and people always tell me that they're scared of buying big art or putting big art in a place. And here you can just see that even in small spaces like these, big art can be very appropriate because they can kind of zone a room, and at the same time this oversized art acts almost kind of like wallpaper. It was actually found in hanging in a cafe in Saigon in Vietnam. Above me we have a beautiful tiny chandelier. I believe it is Art Deco. And because in tight spaces like these we always need space-saving solutions, over here we have the solution number one, and that is that the owners opted, instead for having a bed and a sofa, they opted for a mix of the both. And they literally just have a mattress on the floor, and during the day they like tilt it up, and then you have a sofa when guests come, even though it's not the most sophisticated solution. And in the evening they just unfold it and they have a bed. And what I love about this situation is the fact that they just found incredible bedside tables. Let me show you. So here we have the bedside tables, and they are absolutely incredible. They are like the old, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're like the metal things where you put the tires on in a car. In German it's called Felge, but I don't know what it's called in English. And they are from BMW, and you just have, if you turn it away, you have a sign over here, and you just have this like these geometric shapes of the wheel. I believe that this is a really cool situation, and you could just take these and create a custom sofa table. This doesn't look like it's self-made, but it's really a ready-made solution. And I believe that this is something you can also do to really elevate your own design, is to think about how you can use regular everyday objects in a different context and maybe create a table or create a chair out of it. Here we have a coffee book laying down, or we have a lot of corals. Or on the other side, we have a little alarm clock from Brown, and it's also just a classic mid-century design. Very small accessories like these can just, again, tell the story completely and coherently show your personality through design. Or over here, I'm standing right by a window. We have incense, for example, standing here, and we have this beautiful little, let me show you. We have, again, like a piece of plexiglass and a lot of different crystals. I hope I don't break this. A lot of different crystals placed on top of them. And this again creates a small scene that doesn't feel too cluttered, or it doesn't feel like it's all over the place, because all of the stones are on one piece of plexiglass, so they feel like they're supposed to be there. In a space like this, it's important to have very good solutions on how to deal with your clutter. And lucky for this apartment, there is actually a storage room integrated into the room. So over here we actually have our little own walk-in closet, and this is where just the people put all of their things when they're not using them. And I believe that this is just a true blessing in a small space like this, because come in. Imagine if you would have to organize all of these things somewhere in a room. I believe it would be a disaster. And instead here we have all of our clothes, we have suitcases, we have like a iron thing, we have everything we need, and when you close the room, it just disappears into nowhere. Ooh. This is a Japanese print. The second area of storage in this micro apartment is this gigantic cabinet. It completely falls out of the rest of the design language in this room, because if you have a look at it, it is from the German founders period that ended in the Art Nouveau period. So we have all of these beautiful floral shapes in it. It is made from really old wood, and it gives this room a very ancient feel to it. And I believe that this gigantic cabinet standing over here really is the counterpiece to this gigantic painting. So I believe that because of these two pieces, the room just really is in balance to each other. And this again hides all of the clutter. So having an open shelf in a tight space like this would be a terrible idea, because you would just see so many things and you would just be constantly overstimulated. On top of the cabinet is one of these areas where you can again really showcase your personality and show who you are. And another thing that I really love is this beautiful, let me show you. My favorite piece on this cabinet is definitely this beautiful Art Nouveau candle holder. It is absolutely beautiful, and you can just see the crazy shapes that it has, and it just looks like it's in constant movement. We have quite a big balcony And in big cities, this just always creates and adds so much life quality. Over here, we have a seating area where you can have breakfast or have a cup of coffee, and the balcony actually extends all the way to the back where you again have like a seating porch sofa area. Behind this door we have the kitchen. Another very functional aspect to this apartment is the fact that we have a sliding door, so it isn't in the way, but you just open it. So this is the kitchen. For a small space like this, it is actually not that small. Over here we have a working area. Here we have the sink. And everything in itself is kept again in these browns, and as the kitchen panels, gray has been chosen, and it just fades into the background. Over here we again have a window where you can look outside. We have all of these knobs and hooks. Here we have all of these measuring tools added on top of the hook. Here we have a lot of plants and herbs growing, and I believe that that is really cool because you just have this kind of little jungle inside your kitchen while you're doing your dishes, so you're not just looking at a blank wall, but actually you're kind of looking at a few green plants, and that is really fun. And we can see that the space was also created in a way that it feels homey and that it was very personalized. So up there we actually have a picture hanging that adds a pink pop of color, or we have flowers growing. Sliding doors such as these in small spaces are always an incredible idea. Now let me show you the bathroom. So this is the bathroom. It is clad completely in white tiles, so it was originally very minimalistic, but the owners decided to import this beautiful sink all the way from Mexico, and it is just absolutely beautiful. You have again these floral shapes, and you have the yellow that you can also find in the main room, and you have reds and greens, and I believe that it is a very unique sink and I love it. And over here we have some flowers added, and also to break up the whiteness and emptiness in the bathroom, a lot of different cards were added here just to create a really playful atmosphere. I hope you liked the video. Comment below if you could imagine to live in a small space such as this. And if you liked the video, as always, make sure to subscribe. I hope to see you next week.